Hello, we're going to be reading Smart Words Reader Extreme Survival. We're going to do chapters 2 and 3. Chapter 2, Hot Spots. Desert animals live in extreme environments that are hot and arid or dry. These animals have adaptations that have the opposite purpose of adaptations of polar animals. Instead of trying to stay warm, desert animals have to stay cool. How hot can it get in the desert? One of the hottest places on Earth is Death Valley in southeastern California. Temperatures there get as high as 134 degrees. Can any animal survive in a place called Death Valley? In fact, hundreds of types of animals do. They include snakes and lizards, turtles, birds, frogs, insects, and small mammals. The kangaroo rat has typical adaptations to desert life. To beat the heat, it spends its days in the cool underground. Like many desert animals, it is nocturnal. That means to be awake at night and asleep during the day. So it is nocturnal. They come out at night to find food. Since water is very scarce, again, scarce means there's not much of it. In the desert, the kangaroo rat has made an extreme adaptation. It survives without drinking water. It absorbs water from its food and through the air and then recycles it in its body. Wow. Okay, so here is a jackrabbit and a roadrunner. Scales and spikes. Many reptiles, like snakes and lizards, like to live where it's hot. These animals are cold-blooded. They use the environment to maintain their body temperature. Snakes and lizards like nothing better than lying on a rock in the sun, soaking up the heat to raise their body temperature. The sand viper of the Sahara Desert is a deadly snake with scales that give it good camouflage. They blend right in with the color of the sand, but it has even better trick for hiding from prey. The viper shuffles its body from side to side to bury itself in the sand. Then it lies in wait. Like other snakes, it can sense vibrations in the air. When a little bird or mammal comes by, the deadly viper strikes. The thorny dragon, or thorny devil, is a lizard that lives in the deserts of Australia. Sharp spikes cover its body like thorny armor. The spikes do more than just scare predators, though. The lizard uses them to gather water from dew or rain. The water flows down the grooves in the spikes right into the thorny devil's mouth. Wow, that's really cool. And he looks kind of cool. I wonder if those spikes are sharp. I'm very bad at that today. Ships of the desert. For centuries, camels have carried people and their goods across the hot, dry deserts of Africa and Asia, called ships of the desert. They can travel long distances without food or water. What adaptations help them survive in this extreme environment? The camel's hump is one secret to its survival. However, the hump doesn't carry water. Instead, it is filled with fat. The camel carries around built-in food supply in its hump. Wow, that's sort of like blubber in animals that live in the cold areas. It can last during a long journey across the desert. When a camel's hump is full, it stands straight up, but when it's empty, the hump falls over to one side or disappears. That means it's time for a stop at an oasis to refill. An oasis is a place in the desert where there are water and plants. Camels can go weeks without a drink of water. When they do drink, they gulp down as much as 30 gallons at a time. Another problem for desert animals is all the loose blowing sand. How do camels deal with that? They have nostrils, these are the openings in your nose, that can close up tight, and they have double rows of thick eyelashes to protect their eyes. Plus, their wide feet keep them from sinking in the sand. Again, that's sort of like a polar bear. It's sort of like having snowshoes for sand. Here's some pictures. Chapter 3, Blackout. Most animals are awake and going about their business during the day, but some are nocturnal. Remember, that means that they're asleep during the day and awake at night. What kind of adaptations do they need? The most important adaptation is eyesight that helps them see well in the dark. Hoot, hoot. Owls are excellent nocturnal hunters because their eyes are adapted to the dark. Owls have big eyes with extra large pupils. Pupils are those dark black dots right in the middle of your eyeball. They let in light, and for owls, they let in a lot more light. As a result, owls can see 35 to 100 times better than humans can in dim light. The eye is a primate that lives on the island of Madagascar. It has big eyes that help see at night. It uses its sensitive eyesight to find bugs and grubs and then picks them up with its thin little fingers. For years, many people in Madagascar thought the eye was bad luck and they killed it. Now the animal is endangered and protected. Wow. Here's a bunch of different owls. Look at how big their eyes are. Seen with other senses. What if an animal can't see at night or in the dark? What adaptations can help it then? Many animals that live in the dark have other senses that they rely on, such as hearing or feeling. Bats aren't blind, but they use their ears, not their eyes, to see. Bats hunt at night and live in the dark caves. How do they find prey? They navigate using a special system called echolocation. The bat sends out sounds that bounce off objects and echo back to the bat's ears. The echoes tell the bat how far away something is, its shape, and how it's moving. Moles have adapted to the dark in a different way. These mammals live underground, digging burrows and scurrying through them. These animals are almost always blind because they have no need for eyes in the dark. Instead, they feel their way through the dark with special adaptations. Moles have thousands of sensitive cells on their snouts. That means their noses. These cells help them navigate in the dark and sense if a predator or prey is nearby. Totally dark. Some environments are pitch black. Animals that live in them have no use for eyes, so over time they have adapted to being totally blind or even eyeless. Another strange feature on these animals is that they are often colorless. They have no need to camouflage in the dark. The deepest, darkest part of caves is called a dark zone. Animals that live there never see the light of day or any light at all. Cavefish are born with eyes, but as they become adults, the skin grows over their eyes. The blind salamander is also a dark dweller. It is white and blind, but its showy breathing gills are red and look like feathers. What other environment on Earth is pitch black? Deep down in the ocean in the midnight zone, a place where no light ever reaches. This environment is extreme in many ways. It has cold temperatures, high water pressure, and the absence of plants, which need sunlight for photosynthesis. The creatures here have also adapted to living without seeing. Some are blind, some are colorless or black. All have found ways to catch prey and survive in the deep dark. I don't think I'd ever want to be in a place like that and run into any of the animals that live there. And that is it for this book. Thanks. Bye.